Andrew, great to chat again. Melbana's update on Tuesday confirmed the presence of movable oil in Unit 3 of the Alameda 2 well. Firstly, how would you interpret these results, and why do you think that differs from the market interpretation?
We took logs across this whole Alameda 2 section and confirmed a substantial net pay interval, more than 600 metres vertical in the formation. And to use layman's language, that means 600 metres of reservoir rock capable of storing oil. Net pay is an order of magnitude less than that are considered significant, usually, in our business globally. But in addition to the logs, testing demonstrated the presence of movable oil. Unit 1A flowed to surface unassisted, which was noteworthy given how shallow it was and how low pressure it is up there. And then testing of Unit 3, the deepest section, indicates the potential for it to flow at about 750 barrels a day, making it among the better performing vertical shallow wells in Cuba. That it didn't flow to surface is not surprising given its quality and the formation pressure and the column of water it had to displace above it. With a little bit of assistance, a vertical well like that could be brought on quite easily. A pump or artificial lift like the nodding donkeys people have probably seen in parts of the US if they've driven around out there. But Cuban producers don't produce it that way. They've learned a long time ago that the better way to produce these shallow formations, given they're heavily fractured, is to drill horizontal wells through them and intercept those fractures at right angles. That maximizes the flow rate naturally using those fractures up to 3 times what you get from a vertical well. But Alameda 2, the well we just drilled, is a vertical well, and a near vertical well, as it had to be because we were testing these 4 different sections vertically down to get all the information we needed, like the fracture orientation, for example, that I just spoke about, to be able to design optimum wells to produce from these shallow sections. So given these results, it's now well worth our while to study how best we can exploit this easily accessible and shallow and significant resource. It's not inventing the wheel to do this. This is how Cuba produces almost all of its 40,000 barrels per day of production currently. Answer the second part of your question, why did the market interpret it differently? I guess they're interpreting it differently because of our lack of emphasis on these shallow reservoirs today. They're steady rather than exciting producers, and our shareholders are in this for something else, as we are. We've come to Cuba with a thesis that there is lighter oil in these deeper reservoir sections, and we got a very enticing de-risking of that thesis last year with our Alameda 1 exploration well. And we're on our way back to appraise it with our next well, our Alameda 3 well. That's the main game. And that's what we're keen to get to. This is on the way, and it seems to be a prize. There seems to be a project here, and it'd be crazy to ignore the opportunity that presents us.
Thanks, Andrew. So given the location of the Unit 3 intercept, 200 metres up dip and about 500 metres to the south of Alameda 1, how will this broader oil-bearing formation inform the next round of planning for the drill program?
Good point to repeat, Alex. That we intercepted Unit 3 500 metres away and 200 metres up from where we intercepted it in Alameda 1 last year. And that means we haven't reached the side of this bottle of hydrocarbons yet. And that's consistent with what other data tells us, like the seismic, etc. This is a large, as I said, shallow movable oil-bearing formation. It's demanding that we include it in our field development scenarios now, and that's the most immediate impact of what we've announced.
And just finally, Andrew, could you just provide a quick summary of the company's next round of near-term operational priorities for the ongoing appraisal program at Alameda 2?
Near term, is the completion of this appraisal well program. We're testing Unit 2 and Unit 1B in this upper sheet at the moment, and hope to have that completed very soon. We'll then have a complete understanding of this upper sheet and can park that, take the lessons learned, start talking about what can we do with this to, bring on some early production quickly and cheaply as part of our development scenarios. Now we know there's movable oil there, but really get after this resource as quickly as possible. We need to complete the study picture of finishing the appraisal well program. We've designed something specifically around the lessons we learned last year. This first well, we completed Alameda 2 to TD ahead of schedule without any material incident, which just shows that once you've had the opportunity to redesign a well that you've already drilled a foot into the formation, specific for the conditions you've encountered, things can run very smoothly. And now the same thing will apply, I'm very confident, to the next well. And we just get down there and get the results we need and get all the data we want. And then we really know what we have here to get after. And I think the market will be, very keen to see what we get in this next well.
Thanks, Andrew. Look, appreciate the insights and look forward to further updates in due course. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Alex.